In today's YouTube video, we're going over the top 5 meta loadouts you guys need to be using. If you guys enjoy this one, give it a like, subscribe, and let's hop into it. All right, first gun we're taking a look at here today is going to be the Ram 7. This is going to be my top build here for it. They try to nerf this gun here a little bit, but if you're playing Resurgence, this is your best assault rifle. Basically, if you're playing a Vandal, a Sheikah, I mean, it doesn't matter what you're really playing. Fortune's Keep, I'm here to be dominating with this AR. At big map, not going to be the best, but for, you know, these type of ranges on Resurgence is going to be the best assault rifle. So first thing is that cautious break to help us out, that horizontal recoil control, just to kind of stabilize it out a little bit. Real easy to pull down on a gun to control vertical as opposed to horizontal. Keeps it just going a little bit more vertical, which is something that, you know, the Ram 7 definitely has, is quite a bit of horizontal back and forth kick. After that, we're gonna go up in here, we're gonna throw on that Cronin Headwind long barrel. If you guys want to stabilize this gun out even more so, you could throw on something like the XRK Core Mark 40 Heavy, which will help you out with that gun kick control if we break up the detailed stats here. It gives us a 5% and 7% overall to help the recoil control. You'll see your effective damage range, you know, your minimum, and of course your bullet velocity is not nearly as high as the Cronin Headwind long barrel, which gives us a plus 21, 21, and 25%. So me personally, I feel like if you're a higher skill player, run the Cronin Headwind long barrel. If you're not as skilled of a player but still want to use, the Ram 7, throw on the XRK Core Mark, and this should help you control your recoil more and hit more of those shots. Now we're going down, throwing that Bruin Heavy support grip. This is just the standard underbarrel we run on this Ram 7. No reason to kind of switch this thing up. Works out great, does the job every single time, and there's no better option in here, even though there is 1.5 billion grips, underbarrels. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty much still the best one down here. Of course, when you go on down, throwing that 60 round drum. 60 round drum is the thing to do. I'm a 60 round mag kind of guy, so I'd go for that pretty much anyways, but it's definitely the way to go here. It's your primary AR for distance, so you always want to be able to have the most amount of ammo possible, obviously within reason. If something has like a 100 round mag, maybe don't go for that in an assault rifle, but for 60, that's definitely what we should be doing. And lastly, we're gonna go on back here, throw on the HVS 3.4 pad, which is just gonna help stabilize this gun out, because of course we are utilizing the iron sights. I don't really feel like we ever don't use the iron sights for the Ram 7. If you're not using the iron sights, I mean, I feel like you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, because this gun is great for just being super aggressive, and that's why I said it's great for, playing something like Resurgence, or even a lot of the guys in Warzone ranked will run the Ram 7 because they're just kind of pushing everything and staying within, the effective damage range of this gun. But this is my full build here for the Ram 7. Now let's hop in the firing range, and I'll show you guys how this kind of operates real quick. Dummy settings, turn that up to 3 plates. We'll be able to see, I'll just kind of straight back and forth and hit those targets, but a little bit of recoil, and it's pretty easy to stabilize out. Just move back and forth, side to side, back, whatever you got to do. But again, that rotational aim assist to kick in is pretty huge. All right, next up, we're taking a look here at the Renetti pistol. This actually got a pretty sizable buff, and I want to give some of you guys out there something to use that's not like an HRM9 or something else like that. So what I would normally throw in this top 5, like an HRM, because I actually have that in a previous video, I'm not going to throw that in here today. I want to show you guys this Renetti pistol, because when you put this Jack Ferocity carbine kit on it, this actually got a buff here within the most recent update. It's actually really, really good. So of course, this is our first thing to be able to run. Obviously, the Renetti by itself with the burst is perfectly fine, but running this with the full auto attachment on there. First thing on here, though, in terms of regular attachments, going to be that ZEM 35. This gun's definitely going to have some of that pull. Like, you're going to have to fight it a little bit. Takes a tad bit of getting used to, but as soon as I got a couple of kills with it, I just kind of found my rhythm with actually using the gun. So that this compensator really helps us out in terms of just overall recoil control. I like that quite a bit. Of course, when you go down here, throw on the SL Skeletal Vertical Grip. We don't have a ton of options in here for grips, but pretty much the best one down here is the SL Skeletal. Helps us with our ADS speed, vertical recoil, and of course, sprint to fire speed, which is really solid. You lose a little bit of that horizontal, but like I said, we have that ZEM 35, which should counteract some of that right there. It's not going to get all of it, but it'll do quite a bit. Of course, we're throwing the 50 round mag. This is actually really clutch here to be able to have a 50 round mag, pretty much on like a pocket size SMG. So it's like a pistol SMG with a 50 round mag, and it's got a great TTK on it, and the iron sights are actually really easy to be able to use. So this works out great. Throw on the 50 round drum, call it a day. And lastly, we're gonna go back here and throw on the EXF Eclipser grip for aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed. This makes you faster, and it's what we really care about here, because we are going to be running this on as our secondary. And the only downside to this gun right now is the fact that you can't actually just buy this as like a regular SMG, so you have to run it as your actual loadout gun. But now let's get into the firing range here, and I'll show you guys this. I believe my dummies are still there. It's 3 plates. We'll show you guys a close and of course medium range. The iron sights are really nice. Just has to be controlled a little bit. It has like a weird bit of recoil, but as soon as you're like moving around actually in game, a lot easier to be able to use. All right, for my third gun, I want to give you guys a really nice aggressive build here for the XRK Stalker, and this is going to utilize the iron sights, which I just dropped like 46 kills in a single gameplay. If you guys have not seen that video, go through to the channel and check it out. Absolute banger game. But first attachment's that Sonic Suppressor XL, just to kind of keep us off the radar and helps our bullet velocity and damage range. For a sniper to kind of keep in mind here is that your effective damage range, that first one up there, that is basically your one-shot range. So up to 75.7 meters, I can get a one-shot down with this sniper. I'm pretty sure you mostly just have to hit a headshot in order to be able to get that, but it is a one-shot for like very high up to like your headshot. So the more you can extend out this distance and increase your bullet velocity and everything, the better. As you can see, it's got 1340 meter per second bullet velocity, which is really solid. And we also don't care, by the way, about losing any recoil control because this is a bolt action gun and you're pretty much gonna like zoom out and zoom back in with the iron sight to be able to hit another shot, follow-up shot. For our barrel here, we're actually running that Fission 60 barrel. Gives us a massive increase to our bullet velocity and range, aiming idle sway, and firing aiming stability. Not necessarily the greatest for overall mobility, but like I said, we're really still trying to extend out the range on this thing. You're not going to be using this at super far distances, but the more we can extend out our overall one-shot kill potential, the better, and it makes you more effective as a sniper, so we really like that. We're going to go down here. We're going to throw on the 50 cal high-grain rounds. This just gives you that massive increase of 15%, 15%, and 15%. So just across the board right there. And then it does mess your recoil control a little bit. But like I said, it doesn't matter. It's not like it's a fully automatic gun where having something that's very detrimental to your recoil is pretty bad. This is just all about getting that nice one hit down. And that's what we really care about. So we have the 50 cal high grain rounds. I believe what it is one of the explosive ones in here. I'm not sure if it's this. Oh yes, so this increases your overall effective damage range to 94.2 meters, but it totally chalks your bullet velocity down to, like, it decreases it by 50%, which is horrible. So you go from 75 to 94 on a one hit kill potential, but you also lose over half your bullet velocity. So basically, no, it's more than half. It goes from 600 to 1340. So definitely don't choose that unless you want to, piss poor slow bullet velocity, but you'll get a rather one hit kill potential. It's just kind of those weird trade-offs. We're gonna go up in here, of course, throw on the XRK Stalker factory iron sights. If you don't happen to have this, it just should be a unlockable challenge. Should be way down at the very end of all your optics. Go ahead and go down there and start a challenge. It's basically for me unlocking 3 daily challenges. I know this was bugged for everybody a little while ago, but it should be totally good for everyone nowadays. So definitely go ahead and get the XRK Stalker factory iron sights. They're really cool. And if you don't want to run this, you can literally just run a standard optic on it of your choice in place of this, and this build will work exactly how it should. Lastly, we're gonna go throw on the XRK Stalker light bolt. So this is basically gonna help us out with our rechambering speed, and you can see our rate of fire is increased by 50% with this, which is really great. And our rechamber time is also at minus 31%. So basically green across the board here for this thing. Allows you to hit those faster follow-up shots because we are being aggressive with our sniper rifle. We're not sitting back in like Timbuktu trying to hit a pop-off shot here and there. We're probably running around with like, our nice Sniper Sport SMG and we're being pretty aggressive with it. Works out great for Resurgence, which is one of my favorite places to actually use it. So this is my full build here. And of course, we'll get into the firing range and showcase this to you guys. But these iron sights are really nice. So at that long range, able to see, actually, for whatever reason, the dummies don't work that great. You'll get a headshot hit marker even in the firing range. So that's why sometimes I don't even put plates on the dummies, because it's not as accurate for almost any gun, but just to show recoil patterns. Anyways, ADS speed's actually pretty solid. Iron sights are easy to be able to use. Definitely try this out. All right, so let's hop in here and give you guys a build for the Ram 9, which is pretty much like the best SMG in the game, short of the HRM 9. But this is like one of my personal builds for it. And if you guys want to run this in combination with that XRK Stalker, you'll be totally good to go, because this is a really nice close quarters build. Not like a standard Sniper Sport where it's got more range on it, but close quarter situations, you're going to be absolutely frying. So that Zem 35 compensated flash hider is what I got on here first, just to stabilize the gun out, because it's actually a very mobile gun here as is. So we're just going to stabilize it just a little bit. For our underbarrel, we are running the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop. Just helps with our sprint to fire speed, ADS speed, vertical recoil control, and gun kick control. You guys could pretty much go in here to almost any of these 4 these are kind of interchangeable depending on your build. It's not like you go way past this and you start getting into some of these weird ones down here. Pretty much these first four between the XRK Edge, the FTAC MSP, the DR6, and the X10 are usable on a variety of different guns and builds, and they're going to be great. Like, you can't go that wrong by choosing one of the other ones. So if you don't like my exact underbarrel choice, then, you know, go for a different one, but this works out great for me. We're gonna go up here to the laser section, throw on the DXS Flash 90. It's the very last thing here in the laser category, but gives us a lot of aiming, idle sway, and sprint to fire speed. We mainly care about the sprint to fire speed on this thing because this gives us a boost of 13%, which is really sick. We're just trying to bolster up our sprint to fire as much as possible, make this thing like super fast to be able to, you know, pull up from the hip, which is what we really care about because it's our close range gun. So definitely really recommend that. I've been running this actually for a minute now, and this is a great attachment and just general setup. Of course, we go on down here around the 50 round mag. 50 round mag is just the best one out there. There's no reason for you to go for that 40. Just doesn't make sense. It's not like having a 50 slows you down like super crazy, like detrimental amounts. Like the WSP9, like the Uzi, that gun is a little bit more so like where you could kind of justify using a 40 instead of the 50 because you do slow down quite a bit more at that 50. But for this gun in particular, there's no reason to ever go for that 40. It just doesn't make sense. And lastly, we're gonna go up in here. We're actually gonna run the HVS 3.4 pad, which is not like a movement-based attachment, but it will really stabilize the gun out and actually really like it. If you guys don't want to run this, you could go back here into like the comb and run like the recon comb, and you're gonna be faster. But keep in mind, you will have more recoil. So it's one of those trade-offs you guys can definitely deal with. I've done it either which way, either or, and it works out great. So the HVS 3.4 pad is really solid, but this is my general full build here. And of course, I'll hop into the firing range and showcase it to you guys. So ADS speed's actually pretty solid. I mean, that's basically zero recoil. I'm stabilizing it just a little bit, but that was very easy to use. All right, last but definitely not least, I want to give you guys a build here for the Bruin MK9. If you guys want a great zero recoil long range gun, this is going to be it for you. So first thing is a VT7 Spirit Fire suppressor. We haven't really ran the Spirit Fire on any of our guns here, so we're actually going to be running it on this one. Helps our recoil, bullet velocity, damage range, keeps us off the radar. Great stuff. We're actually gonna not go to the barrel section. We're gonna go straight back down here to the underbarrel for that Bruin Heavy support grip. This is just standard on a lot of our long range guns. Like we were running on the Ram 7, we are gonna be running it here on this one. We don't have to switch this up. There's not really anything else out there that's better. And we'll go into the firing range to showcase how easy it is to be able to control at all ranges. And it's super easy, just kind of like a bit of a spoiler alert. I like using guns that are hard to control. It just makes it like so much more not fun to use when you're fighting the gun, when you're just trying to take somebody out. So I like using guns that are pretty easy to use and I can be mobile with. And this is one of those guns. So next up here though, our magazine attachment, 60 round mag. You guys could like leave the stock, 100 round magazine on here. That's perfectly fine as well. You will be slower, but I do kind of like having the 60 round mag on this thing. It gives me like LMG capabilities and the reload's actually really fast on this, which is nice. So I prefer to have the 60 round. There's no like, right or wrong thing to do, but for you're trying to go for that, Verdansk Bruin vibe, you're going to throw on the 60 round and you'll be good to go. Next up, we're going to throw on that Jack glassless optic. This is a weekly challenge optic for any guys that don't have this. Definitely recommend you guys go do this. If you don't want to run the Jack glassless, throw on any other red dot sight, or you could go throw on like the Corio Eagle Eye 2.5X, and that'll be a nice longer range optic because this gun's super easy to use at longer distances. So you guys can definitely go for that. And maybe if you feel like it's got too much recoil running that Corio Eagle Eye, maybe take off, the VT7 Spirit Fire and throw on like the Costas brake or some other compensator to throw on there, and that'll stabilize it out even more so. But I really like this Jack glassless. This is my favorite way to run this thing. And lastly, we're actually throwing on that Stip 40 grip for recoil control and gun kick control, just to stabilize out here once again. But this is my full build. Now let's hop in, of course, to the firing range and showcase it to you guys. So get in here. The ADS speed is not like super crazy, but I mean, this is like basically not moving. My accuracy was kind of bad right there. But I mean, it's really easy to control. And yeah, I definitely recommend you guys for using this gun. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe for more, check out this other video on screen. I'll see you guys all next time.